Every vibe coding tool on the planet will promise you this. Upload a screenshot, describe what you want, and boom, beautiful prototype. Here's what they actually give you: wrong colors, fonts straight out of a 2010 Word doc, and everything, I mean everything, looks suspiciously like Bootstrap. Seriously, AI, we get it, you love Bootstrap. I spent weeks trying to get tools like V0, Lovable, and Figma Make to produce prototypes that actually look like they belong in a real product, and I finally cracked it with a method I'm calling targeted reflections. I put every vibe coding tool through a battle royale competition of over 30 rounds each and pushed each one to build the best prototypes that could look like they actually belong in a real product. After weeks of iterations, one came out on top. Spoiler, V0 crushed the competition. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you the results of this battle royale competition and the exact prompting framework that took me from that to this. And I tested it across 6 different tools, so you don't have to. What's up everyone, I'm Garrett Risco, a group product manager with over 14 years in tech, and this is Risky Business. If you're new here, hit subscribe and let's get into it. All right, let me set the scene because I know a lot of you have lived this exact nightmare. You're a PM at a big company, you've got a killer product idea, and you just need a prototype to get some buy-in. But here's the thing, your designer's buried for the next 2 months, you don't have enough buy-in yet to even request a designer, maybe because the feature is a little controversial, and you don't have access to the original Figma files, maybe just some screenshots, or your best S-tier visionary designer is off on another team building something else.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
It's the classic chicken and egg problem. You need a vision to drum up interest, but you need buy-in to get the designer to help create the vision. This is supposed to be exactly what vibe coding solves, right? You upload your screenshots, you describe a feature, and you get a prototype. In theory, yes, but in practice, nope, you get AI slop. And I'm not alone here. Colin Matthews wrote a great piece on Lenny's newsletter about this exact issue. He introduced a technique called reflections, where you feed the screenshot back to the AI and ask it to critique its own work. And it's a solid starting point, but vanilla reflections still give me generic results. I needed something sharper. So here's what I did. I gave myself a challenge. Pretend I'm a PM at Netflix, and I've got this idea. What if Netflix let users plan collaborative watch parties directly in the app? Think about it. Scheduling a shared watch session with friends, so integrated polls so the group can vote on what to watch. Why not even collaborate on like snack ordering built right into the event page? Like an Uber Eats integration baked into Netflix.
Shut up and take my money!
It's a great concept, but I have 0 designers available. So let's see what vibe coding can do. Again, spoiler, I tested 6 different tools head to head with about 30 rounds of iterations each. The winner was decisive and probably not what you'd expect, so stick around for that. So step 1, I uploaded actual Netflix screenshots starting with 3 popular tools, Lovable, Figma Make, and V0, along with a detailed prompt covering all the watch party features like scheduling, polls, snack ordering, synced playback, chat, the works. Step 2 is I gave it this prompt. Feel free to pause the video and grab it. And here's what I got back. Lovable, some of the styling was in the ballpark. We got a dark background, we've got reddish accents, but look closer. The accent colors are really off. There's this weird nesting doll of background frames, and the polls, what even is the styling? The snack ordering page, I can't read anything, there's no images, and what storefront am I even ordering from? And Figma Make, more Bootstrap. We're missing Netflix's iconic actual design language almost entirely, though credit where it's due. It invented an instant watch party feature, which I didn't even ask for, which is actually kind of awesome. And V0, a white navbar background on a Netflix clone, some green call to action buttons. Green on Netflix!
You fucking piece of shit!
Every single tool had the same core problems. Wrong fonts, wrong colors, overuse of emojis, classic AI slop. You know the AI tell. The random fire emoji, the sunglasses face, card elements, chips, font weights, all screaming default Bootstrap. And that content-first design language that makes Netflix actually feel like Netflix, it's completely missing. Not something I'd proudly put in front of my VP. Now, McKinsey's design index tracked 300 companies over 5 years. The top quartile design performers saw 32 percentage points higher revenue growth and 56% higher shareholder points than their peers. And Forrester's research puts it even more bluntly, every dollar invested in UX can return up to 100. Design isn't decoration, it's revenue. And if your prototype looks like a Bootstrap template, nobody's gonna feel that vision. You need it to feel real. So how do we fix this? The first upgrade is what Colin Matthews calls reflections. It's a simple concept. You feed the original design screenshot back into the AI alongside its own output, and you prompt it something like this. List out the differences between the screenshot and your implementation. How can you match the design more exactly? Don't code. And honestly, this self-critique is pretty impressive. It catches a lot. There's color mismatches, spacing issues, topography problems. It's a pretty solid assessment. Lots of good recommendations on how to fix it. Unfortunately, when I told it to implement those changes, it fixed some styling and then nuked half my features. The polls disappeared, the snack ordering page vanished, the watch party feature itself completely was gutted. So 1 step forward on design, 4 steps back on functionality. I think we can do better. This is where targeted reflections comes in. It's really the breakthrough that made any of this possible. The magic is specificity. Instead of asking the AI to vaguely improve something, you're surgically precise. You still feed back the original screenshot, but you explicitly call out the exact UI components you want refined and nothing else. Here's what a targeted reflection prompt actually looks like. List the differences between the screenshot and your implementation. How can you match the design more exactly? Don't code. Specifically focus on the nav bar styling. The background should be black, the nav bar should be start collapsed, and the iconography should use strokes with no fill. Or here's another prompt for you. Specifically focus on the font, the kerning, the weight, the size of titles and subtitles. Or this is my favorite, I'm gonna get really surgical with the layout. Within the history section, specifically the past watch party cards, restyle this to be content forward with a large vertical card. A large image is shown in the background, all metadata should be overlaid on the image. Do not remove any information, just restyle it. So if you see the difference there, you're not saying make it better in the prompt, you're saying fix a specific thing in the specific way and don't touch anything else. It's the difference between telling a chef, make it taste better, and telling them reduce the salt by half, add acid, and sear the protein 30 seconds longer. One is not bad, but kind of gives you a coin flip. The other is honestly a game changer, night and day results. All right, now for the part I teased earlier. I wanted to know which tool actually handles targeted reflections the best, so I ran a full battle royale. 6 tools, roughly 30 rounds of targeted reflections each. Yes, I actually did this. My partner was thrilled when I disappeared for weeks.
I've won, but at what cost?
The contenders were V0, Lovable, AuraChat, Figma Make, of course ChatGPT, and Claude Opus. The winner, and it wasn't even close, was V0. By far the best at matching a custom design system, retaining features between iterations, and responding to those surgical prompts I mentioned earlier. Of course, honorable mentions go to Lovable and Claude Opus. Excellent tools and really decent improvements, but they still struggled to break free from that generic styling that they were trained on. And the rest had significant issues maintaining consistency across rounds. And this makes sense when you think about why these tools struggled in the first place. They're all heavily trained on generic design systems like Bootstrap, Material UI, some Tailwind defaults. They gravitate toward familiar patterns because that's the bulk of their training data. Targeted reflections work because you're forcibly dragging the AI out of its comfort zone and making it confront the precise differences between its output and your reference. It's like the AI wants to give you the average of every website it's ever seen. Your job is to keep pulling it towards the specific one you actually want. All right, so here's our step-by-step cheat sheet. Step 1, you do the initial vibe code, upload your reference screenshots, provide a detailed prompt with your feature requirements and your context, and you get your ugly baseline prototype. Step 2 is you're going to do some vanilla reflections. You're going to feed the screenshot back. You're going to ask the AI to list the differences out, and you're going to iterate until you've got a decent foundation. And step 3, you're going to do targeted reflections. You're going to get surgical. Pick one specific component at a time, the nav bar, the topography, the card layout, spacing, and prompt the AI to fix only that, and use that don't code step first every time. And step 4, repeat it until you're proud enough to show it to your VP. The difference between a meh prototype and a jaw-dropping one, it's not just the tool, it's how you interact with it. And targeted reflections are the closest thing I've found to a cheat code for vibe coding. So here's the bottom line. If you're a PM without design resources, you're not stuck anymore. Vibe coding tools are fantastic for speed, but they'll disappoint you every time unless you guide them with precision. Targeted reflections give you that precision, and with AI making engineers ship faster than ever, the real bottleneck isn't building the product, it's communicating the vision clearly enough to get buy-in. This method helps you do exactly that. I wrote a full deep dive article on Medium with all the prompts and side-by-side comparisons with a link down the description. If you want the raw prompts to copy paste, they're all in there. If you've been struggling with vibe coding outputs that look generic, try those targeted reflections and drop your results in the comments. I genuinely want to see what you build. And if you want to automate the rest of your PM workflow the same way, like blog posts, newsletters, campaigns in a no-code way, check out the tool Gumloop. It's awesome. I put a link down in the description with 20% off if you use the code Garrett. Really unbelievable tool. I highly recommend it. Other than that, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.